आवाज ब्रेक हो रहा है। हेलो।
हाँ, आ रही है क्या? अभी अभी ठीक है आवाज?
हाँ हाँ हाँ, बोलो सर।
ओके, हाँ। माय क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि why what is the necessity to learn different types of antenna? You got the question?
सर मोस्टली कुछ सिग्नल्स ऐसे होते हैं जो कुछ एंटीना नहीं कैच कर सकते। फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर हम टीवी का एंटीना सैटेलाइट के लिए यूज करें, सैटेलाइट सिग्नल के लिए, तो वो नहीं पकड़ पाएगा।
बराबर।
इसलिए अलग प्रकार के जो एंटीनाज है वो स्टडी करना जरूरी है, ऐसा मुझे लगता है।
ओके। ओके। गुड। यस, जो वो दुर्गेश ने आंसर दिया, इट इज partially correct. So the main necessity of why there is need to learn different type of antenna is that we know that when we are talking about the telecommunication, so in telecommunication, when we are transmitting the data or signal from transmitter to receiver, so one thing we know that whatever signal which is generated by some transducer, so for example we will take the microphone. So microphone convert the your audio or voice signal into the audio signal, okay, or electrical signal. So in similar fashion, when we talk about the camera, so camera will convert the visual picture or visual image into electrical signal. So once you convert the whatever physical quantity is there, or whatever picture, voice, or temperature, or any physical quantity is there, you are going to convert that physical quantity into electrical signal with the help of transducer. But we know that when transducer convert this signal into electrical signal, so the magnitude or amplitude of that signal is very low. Means it may be in terms of millivolt or microvolt. So in such a difficult situation, if we transmit the millivolt signal uh, uh, into the atmosphere over long distance, suppose 500 kilometers, 1000-kilometer distance is there. So, but obviously what happens, that signal will be lost. Okay, why? Because it is having very low amplitude or very low amount of energy. That's why we are using the different types of what I can say modulation techniques. That is, in previous lecture we already discussed about this amplitude modulation, frequency, and phase modulation techniques. Okay, so when we are using the carrier signal or when we are using the carrier wave, so that carrier wave is having very high frequency. Okay, so it may be in terms in kilohertz, or uh, it may be in megahertz or gigahertz. And we know that uh, in type of electromagnetic wave propagation, in electromagnetic wave propagation, we've seen that there are mainly three types are there. That is the ground wave, sky wave, and space wave. And each type is useful or significant for some particular range of frequency. Means ground wave, it is useful for some kilohertz frequency. For sky wave communication, it is useful for some megahertz frequency. And when we are talking about the space wave, it is useful for some gigahertz frequency. Okay, so means each type of propagation is significant for different range of frequencies. Okay, and when we transmit this signal, so if we are using only one type of antenna, so that antenna is not at all suitable to receive all these three types of frequency range. It means kilohertz, megahertz, and gigahertz. Okay, so in such situations, we need a different types of antennas. Okay, so that is the main necessity to find out the or there is main necessity to manufacture the different types of antenna. Okay, so that is a core thing, why we need a different types of antenna. So in similar fashion, uh, the next question arises that key, what are the different types of antenna, or on the basis of which factor we can categorize this antenna. So one simple, we know that key, transmitter antenna and receiver antenna. Transmitter antenna transmit the signal, receiver antenna receive the signal. But again, if we subcategorize these things, means when we want to transmit, to subcategorize the transmitter antenna, or we, or what I can say, if we want to find out the different types of this transmitter antenna, so on the basis of which factor these antennas are categorized. So now we are going to see all these things which are related to this one. Okay. So here you observe that there are different types of antenna. So here the first type is, just a minute. These are the different types of antenna. We will see each type, okay, one by one. So as per our syllabus, these are the main types: wired antenna, aperture antenna, patch antenna, reflector antenna, lace antenna, array antenna. Okay. So here now we have that there are 6 types of antenna. So here we should understood that key, what is the basic factor or basic parameter. On the basis of that parameter, these antennas are divided into different types. So when we are talking about the wired antenna, okay, when we are talking about the wired antenna, so we know that we can use one wire as an antenna. Okay. So, but if this one wire is, we can use this one wire, and we know the basic principle of energy radiation. Means if the wire is straight, if the wire is straight, and this wire is having a moving charge particle with uniform velocity. If wire is straight, if wire is straight, and this if wire is straight, and this wire carrying the what I can say, uniform. This wire is carrying the, just a minute. This wire is carrying the charge particle with uniform velocity. So in this scenario, what happens if velocity is same and the length of wire is straight? So we know that as per our basic principle of radiation, the energy will not radiate. Okay. So we know that key, for the radiation, the wire should not be straight. And second thing is that the charge particle which are moving through this wire, the charge particle which are moving through this wire should not be having the same velocity, right? So that is a basic principle. And if when we are using this wire, just when we are using this wire in different shapes, when we are using this wire in different shapes, so we can categorize this wire into different types of antennas. Okay, which are those antennas? So we will see one by one. The first type, that is a linear antenna. Okay, uh, second loop antenna, and third one is a helical antenna. So these are the subtypes of wired antenna. Okay, so we will see one by one. Here first one. Yes, the first one, that is a dipole antenna. Okay, so in dipole antenna, what happens? We are divide these different types of antenna on the basis of shape of wire. The first one, that is the dipole antenna, second one, that is a circular antenna, and third one, that is a helical antenna. So you have to understood that in these three types, the shape of wire is different one. In dipole antenna, you have the shape like this, which is shown on your screen. In circular or square type of antenna, in circular means, here you can observe that the shape of wire is a circular, right? Here you can observe the shape of wire is circular. And another type that is a square, means here you can observe the dotted line, means actually it is the different types of antenna. Means I can draw here, that is if the shape is like this, then we can call it as a square antenna, and if this shape is like circular, then we will call this antenna as a circular antenna. Okay, now this is the second type, this is the first type. Now here this is the second type, and now this is the third type of antenna, that is we will call it as a helical antenna. So in a helical antenna, you can observe that the shape of wire is helical here. Okay, that's why we call this antenna as a helical antenna. Okay, so these are the subtypes of wired antenna. I mean, just now I told you when we are talking about the types of antenna, the first type is wired antenna. So in wired antenna, again this wired antenna is divided into three types on the basis of shape of wire. That is key. You can observe this here. On the basis of this, if the shape of wire is like this L shape, then we will call this antenna as a dipole antenna. If the shape of wire is like this circular or square shape, then we will call this antenna as a circular antenna or square antenna. And if the shape of wire is a helical, then we will call this antenna as a helical antenna. Okay. Now these are the types of wired antenna. Now further, if we will see how these antenna function. Okay. So in this wire, you can observe that here we know that when we are talking about the antenna, so antenna is divided into the three sections. The first section, that is the source, okay, and the second section, that is the transmission line, and third section, that is the antennas. So suppose here if I will draw the diagram over here, you can observe that here we have some source. Okay, what is the function of this source? This source will actually provide an electrical signal, okay, which is generated from some transducer. So it may be, just now we discussed about, it may be mic, it may be camera, or whatever. Okay, so once that signal is converted into the electrical signal, so in that scenario, that mic or camera, we call that mic or camera is nothing but it is a source. Okay, now once the signal is converted into electrical signal, then this signal will be transmitted through transmission line. So that is the second part of this one. And the third part, that is here we have the antenna, which will convert this electrical signal into electromagnetic wave, right? So now these three things are there. So now the important thing is that now we are discussing about the wired antenna. So in third section, okay, so in wired antenna, how the signal is converted into the electromagnetic wave. Okay, so that is very important. So when we already discussed about the how the radiation takes place, but now here in this slide we are going to study all these things in much more detail. Okay. Now in this diagram you can observe that here we have the this feeder or source, we can say, okay, which will provide an electrical signal to this antenna. And here we have these two wires. Okay, here we have the wires. So what these wires do? So here you can observe that one end of this wire is not linked. One end of this wire is not linked. Means what I mean to say that if you observe the previous slide, so now here we have the source is available here, right? The signal is fed from this source, and once the signal is fed from this source, and you can observe this is nothing but antenna, okay, or we can call it as a pole. But here this pole is open, this pole is not closed, okay. So in such a situation, if one end of the wire is not linked, then the power uh, in it goes to escape. Okay, means here you can observe that the energy tries to leak from this transmission line. Okay, so why we can call this as a transmission line, because until and unless if that electrical signal is not converted into electromagnetic wave, so that portion we called it as a transmission line. Okay, so now the signal is flowing from this source to towards this one. Okay, and once this wire is open. So that's why what happens, yeah, at this end, the energy is radiated into the atmosphere. Okay, so this is the basic principle of this wide antenna. Okay, at this end, the energy is radiated into the atmosphere. Now, one thing you have to observe that there is a very important role of impedance. Ki what this impedance? What is the significance of this impedance? Because if suppose when we are talking about the this point and this point, okay, and we know that suppose if we have a wire, okay, and here we have the positive charge particles, or here we have the holes. So if there is no potential difference, then there should not be flow of charge particle. Okay, if the uh, what I can say, if the potential difference is zero or the voltage is zero, then there will not be flow of charge particle. So in such scenario, what happens? The charge particle will not move. So if charge particle will not move, and we know that as per the basic principle of antenna, for the radiation purpose, we should require the movable charge particle with ununiform velocity. They should not move with uniform velocity. Okay. So to get this situation, so what happens ki once these charge particle are fed to here, and if there is no impedance, then they will not move. And if there is an impedance, then they will move from this source towards this open-ended point. Okay, so like this, what I can say is the electrical energy is converted into electromagnetic field. Right now, this is all about the wired antenna. Now we will discuss about the next thing. Yes, in this slide, you can observe that this is the actual image of circular loop antenna. Okay, this is the actual image of circular loop antenna, and this is the actual image of square antenna. Just we discussed in previous slide. Okay, this is the actual diagram, and we know that what this circular loop antenna does, it will convert the electrical energy into electromagnetic wave. And the second thing is that in the square loop antenna, the functionality is same, right? So I think you understood that when we are talking about the types of antenna, so on the basis of shape of wire, the antenna is divided into different categories. So if I summarize the things, then which are those categories? So the first one, that is dipole antenna. Second one, that is the circular loop antenna. Third one, that is a square loop antenna. And the last one, that is a helical antenna, right? So I think you got the things. Now again further we will discuss little bit detail on this. This loop antennas, and that is a circular loop antenna and square loop antenna. So in these two antennas, okay. So what is the significance, or what are the advantages of this antenna? So that we will see one by one, right? So here you can observe that the advantage of this antenna is it is having very compact size. It is having very compact size. What does it mean? The compact size means it is a portable. Anywhere you can install this antenna. And the second one, that is it is having the high directivity. Okay, high directivity means what? Key directivity is nothing but when we are talking about the isotropic antenna. Okay, so isotropic antenna is that type of antenna which radiates the energy equally in all the, suppose this is the isotropic antenna. So what this isotropic antenna does, it will radiate the energy equally in all directions. Okay, so the such type of antenna we call it as an isotropic antenna. But here when we are talking about a square or loop antenna, so these antennas are highly directive. Highly directive means suppose we don't want equal energy in all directions. So in such scenario, what we are doing? we are transmitting the energy in some particular direction or some specific direction. Okay, so if that type of necessity is there, so then you can use this loop antennas, right? So these are the advantage. What is the first advantage? It is having compact size, and second advantage is that it is having the high directivity, right? So these two things are there. But along with advantage, definitely it is having some disadvantages. So what are the different disadvantages? The first one, impedance matching may not be always good. Okay, so there is a impedance matching problem. So what is impedance matching? We already discussed in previous slide. Okay, so there has to be significant potential difference. Okay, or there has to be significant difference between the input impedance and output impedance. So then only energy will be radiates. Okay, so this antenna doesn't give the very good impedance matching. Okay, now second thing is that it has a very high resonance equality factor. So high resonance equality, high resonance quality factor. Okay, high resonance quality factor. So first we have to understood that what do you mean by resonance. So resonance is nothing but it is that frequency at which that frequency at which it will give the its highest or best performance. Means suppose for example I will take that case. Suppose I have an antenna which is having the frequency that is the 10 kilohertz. Okay, the 10 kilohertz and 20 kilohertz, right? Means what I can say, this is a frequency band. This is the frequency band of antenna in which that antenna operates with that 10 kilohertz to 20 kilohertz. So means at 10 kilohertz, it will, or what I can say, 10 kilohertz signal will be transmitted, the 10 kilohertz signal will be transmitted by this antenna and up to max 20 kilohertz. But if we are talking about this 10 kilohertz and 20 kilohertz, but we have such a one frequency, it may be suppose I can take this as a 16 kilohertz. Okay, so at 16 kilohertz, the performance of this antenna is very good. Okay, very good means what I can say, there will be maximum transmission of energy at this frequency. So we can call this frequency as a resonant frequency. Okay, so here this antenna is having very high resonance quality factor. Okay, so that is the second disadvantage. Now third, when we are talking about the where we can use this type of antenna. So here we know that yes, in our mini project we will already done a lot of RFID project. And when suppose a library project is there, so what we can say, if we want to develop some automation in library, so we are using the RFID cards. So if you want to read those RFID devices, it may be a reader or scanner, whatever it may be there. So we can use this such type of antennas. Now the second use of this antenna is we can use this antenna for MF, HF and short wave receiver, right? So MF means what? It is the medium frequency range, and this HF is nothing but this is the high frequency range. Okay, so we can use this antenna for medium frequencies as well as high frequency and short waves. So in frequency spectrum diagram, we already discussed about the what is the medium frequency range, means from low frequency range, high frequency range, medium frequency range, uh, then ultra high frequency range, X-rays, ultrasonic, microwave, different ranges are there. So from that frequency spectrum, you should know that such type of antennas are useful for megahertz to medium frequency range to high frequency range. Means what I mean to say that for in simple language we can say that these antennas are useful for the kilohertz to up to some megahertz frequency range. Okay, so now all these things are all about the this what I can say, circular loop antenna and square loop antenna, right? So now that's next one, helical antenna. So now this is the second type of helical, the second type of wire antenna. Okay, so in helical antenna, what happens here? You can observe the diagram of helical antenna. Okay, so actually this is nothing but it is an array of helical antenna. So how many arrays are there? Here we have the one, two, three, and four. Okay, so what is the array of antenna? So that we will see afterwards. But right now you have to remember that okay, this is the physical structure or the shape of antenna is like this. Okay. Now this antenna is nothing but we call it as a helical antenna, and the name is given as per the shape of wire. So here wire is constructed, or this helical antenna is constructed such a way that the shape is helical, right? Now, just now I already told you why there is necessity to divide all these antennas in different types. One that we already seen that key as per the shape of wire, and second very important factor is that key the working frequency range of this antenna. Okay, means suppose for example if some antenna is working on kilohertz frequency, we cannot use that antenna we cannot use that antenna for some megahertz frequency, because definitely that antenna will not capture any what I can say, any megahertz signal, or any signal which is having the energy, which is having the frequency in megahertz. Okay, so we have to choose the proper antenna. So for that, we should know that what is the frequency of this antenna. So when we are talking about the helical antenna, so this helical antenna is having the frequency range from 30 megahertz to 3 gigahertz, right? Means here we can say that it is working from medium frequency to high frequency range, right? Is it clear? So now the frequency range of helical antenna is 30 megahertz to 3 gigahertz. So here we can say that if there is a low frequency or medium frequency application, we go for the that is a square antenna or circular antenna. Okay, but if the frequency range is higher, so means what I can say, it is from 30 megahertz to 3 gigahertz, then we will go for the helical antenna, right? So now here, what is the significance of this one? This antenna, the here circular polarized wave. Circular polarized wave means when this antenna radiates the energy, or radiates the energy means ultimately it is an electromagnetic wave. So that electromagnetic wave is having the circular polarization. Means here I can draw like this, means from this antenna you will get this such type of circular polarization. Okay. The second thing is that these antenna needs wider outer space. So wider outer space means what? So we can say that this is the disadvantage of this antenna, because it required a wider outer space. So if you don't have the space, then it is not a what a wise choice to select such type of antenna. Okay, and how this antenna is manufactured. So here we know that to manufacture the antenna, we are using some conducting material or some conductors. So here copper wire is used to manufacture this antenna, right? So this is all about the helical antenna. Uh, Now here the modes of operation. So this helical antenna is operated in two modes. First one, that is the normal mode. Second one, that is the axial mode. Okay. So in normal mode, the emitted wave are circularly polarized. So this is nothing but we can call it as a radiation pattern. Okay, and in radiation pattern means if we see the definition of radiation pattern, so here radiation pattern is nothing but if we are taking some antenna, and if that antenna radiates the energy in all the direction. Okay, so if the shape is circular, then we will call this antenna as a isotropic. Why? Because this antenna is radiating the energy equally in all the direction. Okay, but when we are talking about the directional antenna, they will not radiate this energy equally in all the direction. They will radiate the energy in some particular direction. And if we draw the angular pattern of such antenna, so whatever graph is there or angular pattern of emission of radiation, if we draw, so that graph that graph is nothing but we called it as a radiation pattern. So here you can observe that in first case it is the radiation of energy is like this. Means in 90-degree it is having the maximum efficiency, and at 0 degree here you can observe that it is radiating in this direction, it is radiating almost zero, but in 90-degree it is radiating the maximum energy, and we will call this portion is nothing but we will call this portion as a lobe. Okay, so that is a central lobe, side lobe, that we will see afterwards. We have all those parameters in detail, but right now you have to remember that this portion is called as a lobe. So in normal mode the radiation pattern is like this, and in axial mode the radiation pattern is like this. Okay, so just 2 minutes are remaining. So we will discuss about these advantages of this helical antenna. So when we are talking about the advantages, it is simple in design, highest directivity, wider bandwidth. We can achieve the different types of polarization. We already discussed that is the normal or axial. So these are the advantages of helical antenna. When we are talking about the disadvantage, so these definitely these antenna require the large or huge amount of space. Okay, means more space is required, and efficiency decreases with number of turns. So what does it says that is suppose I here I design a helical antenna. Okay, and here if I design the helical antenna one and only two turns are there, so this antenna will give the higher efficiency. uh, and if we will I will increase the number of turns, then what happens, the efficiency will be decreased. Okay, why? Because of the impedance matching factor. Okay, now the next one, that is the application of this one. So when we are talking about the application of this one, so these antennas are used for the VHF band. What is VHF band? It is a very high frequency. So it may be from megahertz to gigahertz, right? So we already seen that key up to 3 gigahertz we can use this one. Now second one is that key frequency used for the satellite and space probe communication. Means satellite communication, for satellite communication we can use this one. Satellite communication means we know that when we are talking about the propagation of wave, that is the sky, ground, and space. So it is mainly suitable for the space wave communication, right? Now the next advantage is